Okay, so anyone following my channel probably wondered what the hell was going on with those videos I posted a few days ago about problems with Olivair home improvements in Rawns. We ordered this front door and panels, top and sides, from them in November, and I think when did they come out and install it? February, I think it was, and pretty much immediately we spotted. I don't know whether the camera will even pick it up, but let's see from my angle. Don't know whether you can see. Yeah, you see all these are marks on the inside of the patterned glass. You see all these little marks here. The marks are all over these two panels, and they've already been out once and replaced these panels, although I have to say each panel is as bad as the first one, so whether they actually fitted new panels or came out and reinstalled the original ones, I've no idea, but yeah, it's hard to see. You really need to be here. But when they came out and fitted these panels, they've left all these trims just hanging off like this. They were so tight on the new install. That's how they looked, like that. It looked like it was a sort of moulded together door and that these bits didn't come off. But since their fitter came out and swapped these, this is what we've been left with. So they came out beginning of the month to swap these two glass sealed units. They were supposed to be coming out and putting this trim all back on correctly, because that's been bodged really badly, totally unacceptable. As I was waiting for the fitters, actually I wonder if you can see those marks here if I zoom in. Oh yeah, there you go. That's how it is from top to bottom. Can you see it on there as well? Yeah, you can see it's totally full of marks all the way to the bottom. In fact, if I zoom in, maybe you can see the bottom there as well. Yeah, I think you probably can. Anyway, so this has been going on for 5 months. Various excuses about why they couldn't get these sealed units. They came out and inspected them and said, yeah, that was unacceptable. They sent out the manufacturer to inspect them. He came out and said, yes, that's unacceptable. As I say, they were coming out at the beginning of this month to change them and do the trim. I was waiting for them to arrive, and I thought I'll just wipe everything down. And as I started, I noticed there's a big sticky patch up there where a label's been pulled off and hasn't been cleaned properly. There's another one here that's been left, all the adhesives on the windows. So when they fitted this, they didn't even clean it properly. But the point I'm making is when I got up there to clean these, I noticed these marks are actually in every single unit. Much harder to see when they're at the edges like this. You have to get in there and stand in front of it, and then you can see all of the marks. Yeah, you can probably see them all in there. I'm talking about all these little marks like this. Absolutely covered all the way. Every single panel is marked. So when they came out beginning of the month, they turned up late in the day, and when they took the two sealed units out, they had been wrapped together, and because of the heat in the van, they were stuck, literally stuck together, and they couldn't be separated. So they couldn't fit them. And there you go, you see all the marks here. Bloody nightmare, looks dreadful. And whilst they were here, I said, look, I've now noticed, whilst I was just cleaning these, every single panel has got these marks, all over them. I said, look, when you take these panels back, do you want to get somebody to give me a call and we'll just discuss the other panels? And we've been sat here, it's now what, 18th of July, we'd heard nothing from them at all. We've just sat here waiting patiently like we have all year, whilst these people dither and make excuses about why they can't get two simple sealed units. And then a letter arrives, and it's pointing out their terms and conditions, and it's saying that they're not doing anything about it. Apparently I refused to have the 2 new sealed units fitted, and I've asked for all of them to be replaced, which is not the case at all. I wanted the 2 units fitted because they're the ones that you directly stand in front of, and they're the real obvious ones for all the marks. There you go, absolutely full of marks. So I wanted those done, and I certainly wanted the trim put right, so it doesn't look like this anymore. This is a £3,000 door. It's an inner door, and it's got metal supports in it. It's quite a high security one. They originally fitted the wrong lock, so that was a 1 star, and I'd requested 3 stars, which has now been changed. And we have an outer door as well, which is about 1,100 quid. And frankly, the outer door, the glass is perfect, the panels are perfect, no issues whatsoever. Different company, a third of the price. And they are now relying on the glass and glazing rules and regulations for the visual quality standard for installed insulating glass units constructed from flat transparent glass. Waffle, waffle, waffle. So apparently any mark, scratch, whatever it is, if you can't see it from 3 metres away, it is deemed to be perfectly acceptable. Now, unfortunately for them, I can see these marks from 4-5 metres away. They are so clear, and we are in normal daylight. There's no sun shining through the back here. So yeah, they think it's acceptable that every single unit, sealed unit, is covered in marks. It's clearly a manufacturing fault. It's on the inside, and they are now going back also to the fact that we didn't notify them within 7 days of this, and they seem to think that because we didn't notify them within 7 days, they can get out of any kind of claim against them. Well, it's not the case. Just because I happen not to notice something, if I had scratched the surface of the glass on the outside, you know, like a week ago, I couldn't be going after them saying, well, this had happened during the installation. But you sure as hell can go after them for marks on the inside of the units, and, you know, absolutely everywhere. It's just ridiculous. If we ever come to sell this house, how are we going to explain all these marks? I don't know whether the camera's picking it up or not. Probably not as good as my eyes. Well, there you go. You can see what I'm talking about. All of these are marks on the inside of the patterned glass. There's thousands of them, absolutely all over. The stupid thing is, you know, they didn't spot it in the manufacturing process. They've then come out and inspected it all. They've made another 2 up, which are just as bad, and obviously haven't inspected those. And then to add insult to injury, they've cocked up the 3rd set because they're stuck together, and they couldn't get them apart. Now, they did seem to think that they would allow them to cool down and then they'd be able to carefully prise them apart. But of course we don't know whether they've managed to do that because they haven't been back since, claiming that I said I didn't want them fitted. So, what can you do in this situation? Well, we have a balance of £443 left to pay. I've sent various emails, and I have now transferred that into a letter, and we will be contacting the Glass and Glazing Federation. There is also another trade body for complaints. Independent review of the work and quality will be carried out free of charge to the customer. I'll add a link to them, and we'll be having a chat with our solicitors. The letter ended by saying if we don't pay the balance of 443 in the next 7 days, Olivair will be seeking payment through a third party. Well, good luck with that. In the meantime, we'll be taking our own action to cost having all of these panels replaced with correct panels that are not scratched and marked like this, and we'll be seeking our own legal case, perhaps with Olivair, to get this remedied, because all those marks are absolutely not acceptable in a £3,000 door. If anybody at the factory had actually bothered to look at this, they would have spotted it and not had the nerve to send any of it out in the first place. The glass and glazing sort of regulations, as they were, are listed on the back of their terms and conditions, but I don't really think every single panel being marked like these are and trim left hanging off is acceptable. So yeah, that's what was going on. That's why I posted those videos. The video of the spitting fitter, I happened to be reviewing my Ring doorbell video, seeing if I could find a video where they actually said about the stuck units, and you can hear that on one of the videos I posted. And then I came across this guy smoking and spitting all over our property, which really pissed me off. It's totally unacceptable behaviour, and that's why that's been posted as well. So yeah, I'm afraid they have picked the wrong person to upset this week with everything else that's going on. And fortunately I've got the time and the resources and solicitors in place to deal with this, and that's what I'll be doing now.